Hey yeah bro, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video of the Snow White F32 channel. Today we're gonna be working on the brakes. I haven't done my brakes in so long and it is time to change them. So the brakes that I went with is I used before and I really like them, so I'm gonna reuse them again. They are R1 concepts and they are the Geomat edition. They're the slotted and drilled, and I'm also using the R1 concept pads, which are the performance kit for front and rear. I only need to change the front, but since I'm already raising the car, so might as well just do a rear. It is the same process. And yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it and I'll show you guys how to do it front and back, and let's get into it.
Alright, so first I'm going to take off the wheels. I like to use plastic covered sockets, just take it off. So for the BMW wheels, use 17mm. So for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you know that we put my summer wheels back on, and I put Continental's Extreme Contact Sports 2 on them, summer tires. They're really nice, I really like them. These are my first ever summer tires, and so far experience is amazing, so yeah. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but my brake sensor wire got ripped off and it's giving me a code in the car, like brake code. This is the reason why I'm actually changing my brakes. Since I'm changing these, I looked at my pads, they have like less than quarter life left, so might as well change it before the summer season come, because you know, we go to a lot of car shows, we go to a lot of car meets, everything is usually far, so, and especially with the new setup with the tires and wheels, I want everything to be on point. So let's start with taking everything off now. First step, we're gonna take a flathead and we're gonna take this clip off. This clip that holds the pads in. We're gonna lean it onto the rotor and we're gonna push out and out, and it jumps right out. So now let's get in the back and let's start to do the actual pad bracket bolts. Alright, so this is the wheel. As you guys can see, if you go back here, you're gonna find there's one covered bolt right here and the second bolt right here. If you're only changing the pads, you only need to take this off. Once you take this off, the pad bracket will come off. This one right here is for the actual caliper. We're changing the rotors and the pads at the same time, so I'm gonna have to take both of them off. This to release the caliper so I can take the rotor off, and this to release the pad so I can change the pad. First, we're gonna pop this off, right, and it's gonna expose the actual bolt in here. That bolt is an HW8. It's gonna look like that. It's basically an Allen key, but it is in a socket. We're gonna put it in there and we're gonna take it off. And there's gonna be another one down here. You guys see it? And it's gonna be the same thing. You're gonna make sure to take these two off until right here you see a gap, right? See how the bolt goes in? No, we want a gap. Once you have that gap in, you're gonna be able to, this is gonna have to start some play, the inside part, which is the pad bracket. Once you have some play, you can try to Alright, and then once this is completely off, I'm gonna use a hanger. Well, first we're gonna let's take the pads out. This one pad, and that is the second pad, which has the clips inside. So you're gonna take this, you're gonna hang it. So I like to hang it on my spring. It is very important to have that hanger because you don't want to mess with your brake line itself, because if this breaks and start leaking and you have to change it, this is very expensive. You don't want to do that. For the caliper bolt itself, there's one down here and there's one up here, right? That one we will use E18, which looks like a star like this, right? That one might be actually like very good on, so if you have an impact, it would really help. No, it's not straight on. We don't want to strip it. And we're going to use a swivel tool because we don't want to strip it. Almost killed myself, but see this how hard it is on there. That's why I would recommend using an impact, and don't do the same thing as me. Make sure to hold it before you let it go so it doesn't fall on your face like that. But now it's off. Now we'll be able to take our caliper out, the rotor I mean. Now that the caliper bracket is off and the pad bracket is off, we're gonna take the actual rotor off. So if you see, there's 1 2 3 4 5 for the lug bolts, and then there's an extra one right here. The only function of this bolt right here is just to keep the rotor on the hub itself so it doesn't move. move. It just helps you when you're putting everything back together. There's no other function for it. And this is going to be with an Allen key. So you can either use an Allen key for it, find the size for it, or I'm using the HW6 for it, which is an Allen key socket. And this is how it looks like. It's a very shallow one. As I told you guys, its only function is just to hold this in place when we're doing the brake. So it's gonna come right off. And this is our old rotors. Now let's get the new one. All right, so these are my new rotors, right? What I like to do is I like to prep them. How I like to prep them is on the inside of the rotor itself, I like to put NECs on here just a little bit, so it doesn't give me an issue when I do my next brake change. A lot of you guys are gonna have trouble taking the old rotors off because it's gonna be seized in here into the hub itself, and why it came out very clean is because I put NECs last time I changed it. Let's do that right now and we'll show you guys how to put it on. Also, FYI, that is a me trick. That is a trick that I do. I know a lot of people don't really necessarily do that, but it worked for me before and it doesn't hurt to do so, so that's why I'm doing it. Also a tip, if you are going to put NECs in there, make sure, again, 1,000 times, make sure there's no NECs on here because you don't want that to be on your pad. NECs is used for, obviously to NECs, not to make it seize, which is rust over each other, but it also has lubricant in it, and you definitely do not want any lubricant between your pads and your rotors. All right, now that we finished prepping the rotor, what we're going to do is we're going to prep the hub itself. You see how it's a little rusty in here and outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our metal brush and we're going to give it a nice brush, make sure there's no more rust. Alright, now that the hub is prepped and the rotor is prepped, now we're gonna pick up the rotor. So just as we took the little pin from this hole right here, we're gonna line up the rotor so it can go in the same spot. And we will secure it with the pin. Once this pin is secured properly, all of the holes for the lug bolts should line up correctly. If it did not line up correctly, I would take this back off and put it in correctly until everything lines up good. So now we have the rotor in. Now we're gonna put the brake pad. All right, so since we're here, see this box right here? The one towards the rear of the car is gonna be your brake pad sensor. The one towards the front of the car, that is your ABS sensor. So we want to pop this open from here and here, and it pops open, and that's what you see inside. There's gonna be one with white and there's one that's black. The one that's white is your brake pad sensor. The one that's black is your ABS sensor. So we're gonna pop it out like so, and we're gonna change it. You see this clip? We're gonna press on here and press with one hand and the other one pull out. And it should pull out like this. I'm doing it with one hand so it's a little hard, but that's how it should look. Okay, now we're gonna change it. Same thing, you're gonna reverse, you're gonna plug this all the way in. Don't mind my car, again, it has 180,000 miles on it. So I don't know what this is. I didn't do it. I don't know who did it, but it is what it is. Now when you finish, you're gonna put it back where it belongs. This groove right here is gonna go into the groove like so, and you're gonna close it, and that's how you change your brake sensor. I'm gonna have a brand new one. We're gonna plug it into the brake pad itself, but we'll show you that later on. Some people might have a question, how do you know which one is the front, which one is the back? The front ones are usually wider from here, and same with the pads. So the pads, this is the ones that I'm using. I told you guys it's a Performance Sport Series from R1 Concepts. The front ones will be the bigger one, and you should always do one at a time and size match, so it is the same size and it matches, so everything's good. This is how much meat is in the new one, this is how much meat is in the old one. This is why I'm changing it, even though it's not completely done, but it is what it is. So it looks, they're really nice. I really like them. The pads that I used before were the ceramic pad. I switched to the Performance Series. I wanted to try them because they're meant for aggressive street / track. Not gonna jinx it. I do want to maybe, and that's a huge maybe, take my car on the track, see how it handles and how good it is. Again, it is at 178,000 miles, so we'll see how it behaves until track days. All right, so if you guys been watching my channel, you know that I like to use brand new hardware. So from BMW, each caliper bolt, it went around $8 and change before tax. And from BMW's OEM brake pad sensor cost me, the front one I think was like around 30 something bucks, and the rear one was like 40 something bucks. So I got 8 of these because there's 2 in each wheel, and I got one in the front and one in the rear. You don't have it double sided, it's only one sided, so this one is going to be in the front driver's side. So we're going to do the same exact order backwards. So we're going to do the caliper bracket first. Alright, so the torque spec for these are going to be, I think it's set 37, but I'm going to do 40 and then 90-degree turn, which is a quarter of a turn. So we're going to... Alright, it clicked, and then... And 90-degree turn. And we're going to do the same thing on the top. Alright, so now these two are done. We're gonna put the caliper in with the new pads and we're all set. Alright, so before we put the pads in, what we're gonna do is we're gonna install one of the old pads in there. Doesn't matter what way we do it. And we're gonna get our wood clamp, which I don't have a caliper opener tool. I need to invest in one, but this works. And we're gonna go in here and we're just gonna tighten. Keep going until it opens all the way. Alright, now since it's open all the way, we're gonna take this stuff off and we're gonna install the new one. So the inside one is gonna have the clips like so. We're gonna install it. Make sure that all the clips go inside the caliper. Make sure they're sitting all the way in, like this goes all the way in. Same thing with the top. Alright, so installing the brake pad bracket, we're gonna use the same HW8 and line it up and get working. These ones should be hand tight. Make sure they're in, like they're hand tight. And for the last step, the clip. You're gonna put it on one side. So you're gonna put it out here on the outside. Here the hook goes on the inside, and you're gonna work your way out and clip it up. Alright, now for the last part is we're gonna take our brake sensor. This nipple is gonna be looking on the outside, and we're gonna install it in here. You're gonna press hard until you hear a click. Alright guys, so once you finish your brake job, you're gonna turn the car off. You're gonna click one time for accessory, and you're gonna go on the side button. You're gonna click, you're gonna hold it until you see that goes to 0. Keep holding, keep holding, keep holding, and here. You're gonna hold so we can have it reset. Once it says reset question mark, you're gonna hold again, and it's gonna give you this, and it's reset in progress. And we're good. Now you can turn off the car. Turn it back on, and brake light should go off. We're good.